In the early 15th century, the Ottoman Empire was the terrifying, unstoppable superpower of the world, expanding relentlessly into Europe. To maintain control over the territories they conquered, the Ottomans used a brutal system. They took the sons of noblemen as hostages. Gjergj Kastrioti was born into a noble family in the mountains of Albania. As a young boy, he was surrendered to the Ottoman court of Sultan Murad II. Separated from his homeland, his family, and his culture, Gjergj was thrust into the elite military academies of the empire. He didn't just survive his brutal upbringing, he excelled. He became a master of cavalry, strategy, and warfare. He fought in countless campaigns for the Ottomans, earning a fearsome reputation and the title Skanderbeg, Lord Alexander, comparing him to Alexander the Great, which eventually became corrupted into Skanderbeg. For over 2 decades, Skanderbeg wore the armor of his captors and commanded their armies. To the Sultan, he was one of their greatest, most loyal generals. But Skanderbeg was playing an incredibly patient, incredibly dangerous long game. He had never forgotten his blood, and he had never forgotten the mountains he was born in. While the Ottoman forces were engaged in chaotic combat against a Hungarian army, Skanderbeg made his move. He didn't fight. Instead, he abruptly abandoned the battlefield, taking 300 highly trained, loyal Albanian cavalrymen with him. Skanderbeg rode directly for the impregnable fortress of Gruja in Albania. Using a forged letter bearing the Sultan's seal, he tricked the Ottoman governor into handing over control of the castle. The moment the gates closed and the castle was his, Skanderbeg tore down the Ottoman banner. In its place, he raised a red flag bearing a double-headed black eagle, the banner of his family, making it the symbol of Albania to this day. Addressing the people who had gathered, he delivered a line that remains one of the coldest, most powerful declarations of independence in history.
I have not brought you liberty. I found it here, among you.
The Sultan was furious. His prized student had stolen his fortress and incited a massive rebellion. For the next 25 years, the Ottoman Empire threw everything they had at Skanderbeg. They sent armies of 80 to 100,000 men, commanded by the greatest generals of the age, and eventually by the Sultan himself. Skanderbeg rarely had more than 10 to 15,000 men, yet he never lost. He used the harsh mountainous terrain of his homeland to his advantage, launching devastating guerrilla strikes. He would lure massive Ottoman columns into narrow mountain passes, ambush them, and vanish before they could organize a counterattack. He used the psychological warfare, starving the massive invading armies by burning the crops and poisoning the wells in their path. He understood that he didn't need to defeat the Ottoman Empire in a pitched battle. He just needed to make the cost of conquering his land so agonizingly high that they would eventually bleed out and give up. Until his death from malaria in 1468, Skanderbeg remained an immovable object against an unstoppable force. He successfully defended his homeland against the greatest military machine on earth for a quarter of a century, earning the title Champion of Christ from the Pope. His history is a masterclass in stoic endurance and tactical genius. It proves that raw power and numbers mean nothing when faced with an individual who possesses absolute geographical mastery, unwavering discipline, and a mind that simply refuses to submit.